Hello class and welcome to Module 6. The focus of this module is on mindfulness training, looking at how we can implement purposeful pauses and go back and unlock our creativity. I've included this quote because I think it really touches on so much of what we are dealing with in society, where it says you are only partly attentive most of the time and completely inattentive some of the time. So just take a second and let that sink in. Do you agree with that quote or not? I know for me, when I break it down, I realize that's pretty accurate. I think that would sum up most of the people I know, and oftentimes me, where you're really never present. Some of the time maybe, but most of the time probably not. And again, the goal with mindfulness is to focus on that and focus on cutting down that 80% of the time that we are not present and trying to get that 20% going up and that 80% going down. The goal of mindfulness is to be more intentional about how we spend our time. Remember, it's our time, and we should get to determine how we spend it. The key, though, is being present and continuing to train ourselves to be present. Unfortunately, as the statistics have shown, we are almost never fully present. It's just almost something that we do not normally do. I would almost argue that we almost train ourselves in the exact opposite fashion, and we train ourselves to multitask, to focus on 5 different tasks at a time, to fill our plate with as much as we can. So we are always busy, always doing something. And we believe this will make us more productive, but in reality, it just drains us. And if we start to implement some of these mindfulness techniques, we can actually become more productive and actually focus on what is important to us. And this is critical in leadership positions, in our positions, if we're in a classroom or whatever setting we're in, to be present, to make decisions in the moment and not lack clarity or lack focus, and be focused on what's at hand, have clarity, and make the correct decision. I came across this statistic which really surprised me, again, until you start to think about it. And it was a study that stated 60% of workers were on autopilot. Again, it's a number that, let that sink in for a second. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I just thought, imagine the impact that has on an organization. How can any organization be successful when 60% of the employees are on autopilot? How, if you're a teacher, can you be successful if 60% of your students are on autopilot? And I would say that number is probably pretty accurate. And the goal with mindfulness is to get off that treadmill, to get off that autopilot. And one of the easiest or simplest techniques, and my favorite technique to do that, is the purposeful pause. So it's a simple technique, but it can be quite challenging to do. Just like the other techniques we've talked about, they sound so simple, but in reality it can be quite challenging. So the idea here is to just refocus yourself. If you feel overwhelmed, if you feel like you're not present, refocus, just pause, bring yourself back to the present, and just reset. And you can use this anytime your mind is wandering. We're going to try it going into meetings, going into a class, room. And when we do that, what we're focusing on, focus on your breathing, sound in the room, a sensation, whatever it is that just brings you back to the present. It's an opportunity to just reset, and then be intentional about the decisions that we make. And it doesn't have to be 30 seconds. It may be 3 seconds. Just pause, refocus, reset. Find something that will ground you in the present, whether it's your breathing, it could be a sensation, whatever it is. Anytime you're in a meeting, in a classroom, somewhere, and you just feel your mind is wandering and you're not present, just try a purposeful pause. It's almost like a mini meditation, and you can do this anywhere. I know for our assignment, we'll have to incorporate a few throughout the day. It can just be a 5-second purposeful pause, and then we're back. It's a great tool to do when we are losing focus. And the more often you do it, the better you'll get at it. You'll just be able to, okay, I'm in a meeting, not focused, I'm not present. Take a purposeful pause, reset, and then I'm back in. The other, tool we're going to work on is creativity. And at first, when I read through the book, I thought, why is creativity one of the 4 components of leadership excellence? How is creativity and mindfulness linked? And the idea behind that is we are creative, but we're not creative because we don't have the mental space to be creative. And I thought about it quite a bit. Is it something that we lose as we get older? Do we lose that creativity? And I think it's because we don't have the mental space and we don't set aside time to be creative. When was the last time you set aside time to be creative? It's probably something most of us don't do. I was thinking about this with my son when he was in the shower and he's battling with soap bottles, playing different games, and he's using his imagination. He was being creative. I also think if you walk into an elementary school, go into the classroom, everything's creative. It's designed for creativity. And I think kids can accomplish this because they don't have 1,000 things on their plate. They can just let their minds go and be creative. Whereas when you look at us, if we're in the shower, we're not playing games with soap bottles. We're probably thinking, okay, once this is over, I have to get ready for work. I have to put the kids down to sleep. Whatever it may be, we have 1,000 different things going on. We're not present, and we don't have space to be creative. We don't get to focus on our creativity and explore what might actually be going on. So with creativity, and we have an assignment that we're going to work on here coming up, where we're going to just set aside time, some open space, to focus on something you wish you had more time to explore. And as you work through that assignment, you'll get that opportunity, set aside time where you focus on nothing else but being creative and just seeing what comes out. You'll just embrace a thought that comes in and see where it goes. It's really interesting to see what comes from that when we do set aside time. When we do not focus on anything else. We're not worried about a meeting. We're not worried about what's going on after work. You're just letting your brain kind of go, and you're clearing that mental space so you can be creative. So as we wrap up this module, what I want us to take away from this module is the idea that if we want to become more mindful, it takes training. And that training is often simple, but it can be challenging. And if we're willing to be disciplined, if we're willing to try and use these different mindful techniques on a regular basis with repetition, we will be successful. If you take that approach, you will notice you are present more often, and you're more in the moment. And we can't be afraid to fail because it's going to happen. We now have a couple techniques we can use. We can meditate. We can do purposeful pauses to help us get back in the present and focus on what is going on. So let's continue our journey. Notice when we're not present. Notice when others aren't present. And for us, when we're not present, just take a second. Focus on your breathing. Focus on a sensation. Bring ourselves back to the present.